A new documentary revisits the last night in Cuba for dozens of Cuban exiles. The project by University of Miami students took nearly 2 years to make and is being called a true labor of love. It documents first-generation exiles' flight to freedom shortly after the revolution in 1959. CBS 4's Leif Davalos is in Coral Gables with the story.
This one-hour documentary is a labor of love for a group of University of Miami students who spent nearly 2 years of their lives putting together the story of 11 Cuban exiles and their last night in Cuba.
It reminded me of the black and white pictures that my mom had kept of her youth.
Memories of a Cuba she left at the age of 12 were rekindled for Lisbeth Fernandez Vina as she wrote the documentary for a school project while a student at University of Miami. The name of the documentary, Last Night in Cuba.
And it's more about the memories. I don't consider it a political documentary. We wanted to remember the Cuba of the past.
Along with producers Eugene Pons and Suzette Mayobre, they spent hours researching and interviewing 80 people who fled the island when Fidel Castro took over.
In the interviews, I personally was surprised there is no resentment toward the Cuban people. It's Cubans are Cubans, and that was a theme throughout most all the interviews that we did.
Some of these people just said things that were so surprising that you wouldn't expect them to say. And so I think it was just a learning experience altogether, not just technically as far as doing a documentary, but I was very surprised in hearing what these people had to say.
And it is their stories of their last night in their homeland that are told.
Cuba era una música.
And while the stories are all about Cuba and its people, Vina says the stories of lives changed forever will affect most everyone.
A lot of people should see it because it's not only about Cubans. It's about Miami is a community made in the exile of many different communities.
This documentary will be featured and shown for the first time in Tallahassee on the anniversary of the Bay of Pigs, April 17th. It will also then be shown here at the University of Miami starting April 21st. In Coral Gables, Leif Davalos, CBS 4 News.